The biggest question that I've been getting asked recently is if I regret using the level 3 of the Good and the Beautiful, their language arts program. As you might know, The Good and the Beautiful is coming out with a new edition for their level 3. So a lot of people have been asking me, Gina, would you recommend that we start the level 3? We just finished the level 2. What is your recommendation? What would you do? Do you regret using the level 3? Should you have used a different curriculum? Maybe experiment with something new. So today I'm going to share with you guys my honest thoughts on the level 3, things that maybe we would like to see changed from the level 3, things that we like from the level 3. I'll show you a lesson, book recommendations to go with the level 3. If you have, a child that's going into level 3, maybe some books that would be a good fit for it. Just sharing with you guys how we're using this program, what is working for us, what is not working for us. And in the end, I'll share with you guys, do I regret using level 3 from The Good and the Beautiful? If you're interested, just keep on watching. Here is the level 3 course book. I'm going to show you the lesson that we're going to be doing today, and I'll show you the previous lesson and then a future lesson, just so you can kind of take a look at the lessons, and maybe I can tell you a little bit of what we like about it, what we don't like, things that we use, things that we don't use, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is the lesson that we're going to be doing today, is lesson 75, and we're going to be talking about sentence diagramming steps 5 and 6. So The Good and the Beautiful, I think Nicholas started doing sentence diagramming since the 2nd grade. Maybe they introduced it in the 1st grade, I'm not sure, but 2nd grade for sure. And we've just been doing, I guess, steps up until 4. We're doing steps 5 to 6 today, so we're going to be learning about that. And I really like that they include sentence diagramming. One of the reasons why I really like sentence diagramming, it helps with the different parts of speech and maybe adding even more to a sentence, adding adjectives, adverbs, verbs, and it just helps the child break down that sentence. I have to admit that I was never taught sentence diagramming in school, but I think that it would have helped me a lot with being more descriptive when it comes to my sentences. So we're going to learn about that. Honestly, I'm learning along with Nicholas. So that's how the lesson is looking. I really like the independent practice because it allows Nicholas to do this independently. He's been doing that since the level 2 and very, very independent when he does his independent practice. For independent practice, you see here, there's the targeted spelling words. We do not do the spelling words like the list. Every unit has a spelling list for the child to learn how to spell, and they focus on irregular words. We do not do that. I have my own spelling curriculum that I use, and it's 180 days of spelling and word study, and it goes very, very well with The Good and the Beautiful. And this is the unit 10 Nicholas is doing right now. So he already did his spelling work today, so we're not going to be doing that. And then he's going to work on spelling rule number 7. And this is a spelling rule that we've been working on throughout the last couple of weeks, months, and it's always introducing it back into the independent practice, sometimes into the lesson. So there is a lot of review of different spelling rules. So he's going to be working on that. The ch sound, it could be with the TCH or the CH, and it'll tell you the rule, and then he has to do that. Homophone practice. Nicholas is so good at his homophones because since level 1, that's when we started using The Good and the Beautiful, he's been doing homophones. So whenever Nicholas sees a homophone, he is so good at identifying the different homophones. He says that his brain just knows. He sees it and he can tell the difference between homophones. So it's just amazing. Really like how they do homophone practice here. There's a spelling practice here. He has to say the word and then write it. And they always tell the child to do 20 minutes of personal reading, but sometimes it'll ask you a question regarding what you are reading, and it'll just be like a general question. And this one right here, write one sentence from the book that uses a good description. So that's what he's doing over here. One lesson usually takes us about from, start to finish. I would say, not including the 20 minutes of reading, probably around 35 minutes to complete a lesson. It just depends on the actual lesson that we're doing, but this is what we're going to be doing today. Let me show you how the lesson looked like yesterday. The Good and the Beautiful incorporates geography into their language arts. So for this particular lesson, we learned about Greenland, and we learned, about population, about the country and whatnot. And then in the end, we did a bit of dictation, and we were working on the TION, the shun sound. And we were also learning about possessive nouns as well. So it incorporated language arts in a way where it includes geography. I really like it. So this could be a hit or miss for you, but this is definitely what the Good and the Beautiful does. I think that in their new edition, they're still going to include geography, which I'm all for it. So that's what we did for this lesson in particular, but geography is not incorporated with all lessons. I would say every 4 to 5 lessons you get a geography lesson, but it's not all the time. We also did a little bit of a picture study as well with a painter that traveled throughout Greenland. That was really nice. And then he had his independent practice. He worked on contractions, spelling rule number 1 practice with adding the S, F, or L. And the end of the words. He did vocabulary. So the Good and the Beautiful does incorporate vocabulary words. And then he did a writing journal entry that included the vocabulary word. And then he has a checklist of things that he has to remember to do in his writing. So there is a little bit of writing. There is a good amount of writing when it comes to the Good and the Beautiful that I think that is perfect for my son. There's journal entries. We are being introduced to essay writing already, which honestly, I think that I only started doing essay writing when I was in high school, guys. I don't remember anything about doing any type of writing when it comes to schooling when I used to go to school. So it's nice that they're being introduced in such an early age, but it's not very intense when they are introduced to it. For here, they have to use transitional words. I think 3 to 4 transitional words in their writing. So he did that yesterday. And what I do is I use this 3rd grade notebook from the school nest, and this has everything that he needs for his language arts. So he has his vocabulary words, and I have little tabs. These are all his vocabulary words. So he has quite a few that he's been working on since, starting. And there's journal entries in here. Different activities that we've done, maybe picture studies that we've saved as well. So a lot of people ask me how I use this notebook from the school nest, and I use this with the language arts. And here, this is a perfect example of the essay writing. We did the introduction, the bodies of the essay, and then we did the conclusion. How they incorporate the essays is that we learn about different countries, which is really, really nice. So you can see here that there is a bunch of different things that we have added in here, and it has to do with his writing and whatnot. Journal entries, essays, vocabulary words. So you can kind of just see. Okay. So, and he also, sometimes he will write some poetry in here. He has been really enjoying poetry lately because of the Good and the Beautiful. And I'll get into that a little bit in a little bit. Okay, and then tomorrow, let's see what the lesson's going to look like tomorrow. Okay, lesson 76, we're going to learn about independent clauses, part 1. And you can see here, this is the lesson. It's very open and go. There's going to be some dictation, independent practice. It seems like there's the targeted spelling words, which we're not going to do. And then writing of a story, he's going to be, so in his writing journal, which is his 3rd grade notebook, he's going to be starting a beginning of a story, I believe. Okay, and there's a little checklist. For our first couple of lessons, I thought, wow, this is a lot. But as we got used to it, it ended up being 35 to 40 minutes to complete a lesson and his independent practice. He usually does his independent practice when he wakes up super early. Nicholas is an early riser, so he'll do his independent practice usually first, so he can complete that first before we even do the lesson. So there's probably 2 things that we do not use. It's the spelling words, the list. The Good and the Beautiful incorporates spelling through dictation, like I showed to you before. So that's a different way for them to include spelling, and through learning the different spelling rules within the lessons and independent practice. The targeted spelling words are irregular words, which I feel like was not beneficial for Nicholas. I would be very interested to see how The Good and the Beautiful incorporates spelling in their new edition. I hope that they change things up, but we'll see what happens. And then the other thing that I do not use is the challenging word climb. And in the end of the course book, there is this challenging word climb. Okay, guys. For us, we were calling it the discouraging word climb because Nicholas was feeling very discouraged when we were doing this. So you have this challenging word climb. And I get what they're trying to do here. These are like challenging words the child has to read. And Nicholas is still like, you know, he's actually a pretty good reader, I would say. But these words... they were just making him so frustrated. And I feel like every time we had to do the challenging word climb, which is not every lesson, but because the lessons were so spaced out in a way that when we got to do the challenging word climb, he would basically forget all of the words, and it would just be more frustrating. There was kind of like tears involved, and I was like, you know what, since it's not doing anything for us, we're just not going to do it. I don't feel this is going to help you in any way. We already explode the code, we have handwriting, we do our own thing when it comes to spelling. I don't feel like this is becoming the discouraging word climb. So we do not do this word climb. And yes, I tried even doing it like every single day with him. It still didn't work out. So I just decided just to skip this altogether. I felt like it wasn't doing anything for us. This is the reader that comes with the level 3. And it's okay. I mean, it's not that we don't like it. And it's not that we love it, I would like to see if they come out with a new reader. In level 2, they came out with such sweet books that go along with level 2. And it was like night and day compared to the old edition. So I would like to see, maybe something new when it came to the personal reader. I think it would be nice, just like they did for level 2. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that kind of looks like. So this is the reader that it comes with. It tells you when to use the reader. It's been okay. Like, it's not something that we love, but it's not something that we don't like. I Sat by the Sea. We love this. At first, I thought that Nicholas might not like this. So basically, almost every lesson, I think we only stopped doing this once we were doing a short story that we were reading. But usually every lesson, it tells you to read pages 7 to 8. And at first I thought, oh man, Nicholas is going to hate reading this like every single day. But he is really liking it. The poetry is so nice. And usually you'll read the 2 pages that it asks you consecutively. So the first time, they'll read it one day, and the next day they'll read it again, the same pages. But you'll notice, or at least for me, I noticed that Nicholas in his reading and how he's just, the fluency is just so nice. So I think this has been really, really great addition to our reading. He's reading so much faster, so much like clearer, like, stopping when, he needs to stop, like when there's a period, when there's a comma. I feel like it's just been so great to see him read this. Such sweet poetry book. And I would love to, if they would keep this in the level 3, they might change things a bit, but at least this be available on their with their books, and you can purchase it. I definitely recommend I Sat by the Sea. Such a sweet poetry collection, perfect for level 3. This is not, you don't need this, but I do have the spelling rules flashcards that go really, really well with the unit. So sometimes when we're working on a spelling rule, we can kind of take it out, review it and whatnot. So I really like this. I would recommend, this go with the level 3. It's not something that you need. It's something that you can just get on the side. Now, since we're doing this, I wanted to show you a couple of readers that Nicholas, will be reading, or he has already read. Some of them he's already read, and some of them he's still going through. But I bought quite a bit of books for him just because we don't have a really great library here where I'm from. So Dinosaur Hunters, this is a level 5 book, but he could read this. It's no problem. Crooked Creek Ranch, this is from The Good and the Beautiful. It's a level 3 book. He's read this one, and he actually did a book report on it. I have like a School Nest book that is like a reading journal. and sometimes he will, you know, do a little book report on the books that he has read. So this level 3 one was really, really sweet. There's some pictures in it, but it's mostly like a chapter book for his age. David and the Seagulls, he loved this one. This one was a really great one. And it has more of a colorful pictures in it, but it's definitely a level 3 book. So I got that one. The New Boy in School, this one is really, really sweet, really great for Black history, level 3. And The New Boy in School, also a really nice book. The Explosive Story of Fireworks, it's a more of a hard cover book. It's not The Good and the Beautiful, but I got this one for him and for him to read as well, because he likes learning about this kind of stuff. He's much into that kind of stuff. This is a level 3 book, Step into Reading. It's more of like a history reader, Truth or Lie Inventors. So it has to do with different inventors. Skyscrapers, he read this one already. He loved it, guys. We stayed a whole week just learning about skyscrapers. So I really like getting readers that are for his level and that he can even, it incorporates, you know, engineering and science and that kind of stuff. So he loved this one. Christopher Columbus, it's a history reader, but also for his, you know, for his level. Bradford Street Buddies, Backyard Campout. Another one, you'll see that it's like a picture book, but it's also like a chapter book as well. So it's a little bit more, you know, there's different types of books here. There's ones that are more chapter books and then others that are more colorful. Corduroy's Hike, another one. Look inside. Yeah, you'll see there's like pictures. Upstairs Mouse, Downstairs Hole. It's a level 3 one. Then Jellyfish. This is more of like a science reader. But whenever The Good and the Beautiful asks for him to, like, you know, read something, he, you know, grabs these books. I have other ones as well. This is the True Colors, the Story of Crayola. It's a history reader. Cork and Fuzz, Finders Keepers. So these are just some of the books. I have more, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of readers that I have. So I incorporate, you know, different types of readers when it comes to his independent reading times. So he has some books that he likes to read. Okay, now that I've shared with you guys a bit of, you know, what we like, things that we don't use from the level 3, let's show you how we do a lesson. So lesson 75, we're going to talk about sentence diagramming, steps 5 and 6, okay? So we're going to learn step 5 of sentence diagramming. Mom kissed the baby. Baby is the direct object, right? Not all sentences have direct objects. When determining if a sentence has a direct object, you can ask who or what is receiving the action. Who did Mom kiss?
The baby.
Right. What did I build?
A birdhouse.
Exactly. I will read you a sentence and you will tell me the direct object, okay? We washed the car. What is the direct object?
Car.
Good. I made my bed. What is the direct object?
Bed.
Good. So to diagram a direct object, draw a vertical line that does not cross the horizontal line. So quietly.
When I'll be coming home,
Reads.
then I'll be at your door. When I'll be coming home, I plan to let you know the longing of my heart.
Okay, so I'm going to put step 6 here. I'm going to explain to you what that means. Is commands.
Commands are like go to your room.
Yes,
right?
That's exactly what a command is. Okay. Sentences that are command often drop the subject and the subject is implied. For example, the implied subject in the sentence kick the ball is you, okay? So you kick the ball. When we diagram sentences that are commands, we put implied subjects in parentheses.
The wish I carry high.
How would we diagram this sentence? We're going to do that right now. You have to put a command here. Open the window slowly. It would be you open the window slowly. So you, I would put here, you. I know it's not showing here, but we would say that it's you. You're opening it, right? So you open, so open.
Whenever we're apart, it takes me through the night. into your eyes.
This one is here. I slowly opened the shiny box. So I slowly opened.
When I look deep into your eyes. When I'll be coming home. And I am on my way. When I'll be coming home. I wanna see you play the music of your heart. I'm followed by your light. Whenever we're apart, it takes me through the night. When I look deep into your eyes. Oh, when I look deep into your eyes.
So there you have it, friends. This is how we do a lesson, things that maybe I would like to see different from The Good and the Beautiful. So do I regret using the level 3 from The Good and the Beautiful? Should I have maybe done something different? Maybe experiment with a different curriculum? Let me tell you my thoughts. Honestly, I have no regrets. It's actually been amazing to see how much my son has grown. Yes, you saw that we don't use every single little thing from, you know, the actual curriculum, but I feel like it hasn't taken away anything from us. If anything, I have been seeing my son growing when it comes to his reading, his writing, and I am very happy still with The Good and the Beautiful. I feel like I'm excited to see their new edition. I feel like they have, you know, so much room here to improve this edition. I was in a place where I was contemplating if I should maybe just do something else because they're coming out with a new edition. You know, something new and shiny sometimes feels really, really great. But I can't miss something that I don't know what it's going to be. I only have this right now, right? And this right now has been a blessing in our life. A couple of things that I didn't mention before that I'm going to mention right now. So one of the things that I hope to still see in The Good and the Beautiful is their short stories. They had a beautiful short story, The Kingdom Kind. And guys, it was such a good short story to the point where Nicholas was like, Mom, I don't want to stop doing our language arts lesson. Just let's keep on going so we can read more and more and more. Such a sweet short story, and we love that. I hope that they keep that there somehow or come up with a book, you know, so the kids could read it. So good. I hope that they keep poetry, you know, that poetry book is so good, or maybe add something new and different, but keep that poetry component. I felt like it was such a beautiful addition to the lessons, and we have fallen in love with poetry to the point where Nicholas is writing his own poetry sometimes. I see him saying his poetry out loud, and then he'll write it in his, you know, 3rd grade notebook, and I love seeing that because it just shows, like, you know, that this curriculum has brought out this love for something that we didn't appreciate before. So I really like that. I really like their homophone practice. Even though the way they're incorporating writing, I'm really enjoying it. I'm liking the journal entries. I love the way they incorporate God into little bits and pieces. It's not overly, you know, every single thing we do is about God, but God is very much present there, and I love that. I'm excited to see the changes that they do. This is what I'm assuming here. There's going to be a change in the challenging word climb, because if you've used the level 3 of the language arts, did you like that? Like, to us, like, that didn't do anything for us. But anyways, I would hope to see a change in that. Maybe the spelling, do something different. Probably will still be with the irregular words. Maybe there'll be less challenging words. Maybe video lessons. There's going to be some videos in there, you know, just like they did with the level 2, different books, maybe a little bit more not so like vintage books, I guess. And maybe I have a feeling they're gonna change the poetry book, but maybe it'll even be better. But I really like the poetry, so I can see, you know, where The Good and Beautiful could do some changes, and I'm excited to see them. Maybe I'll do a side-by-side comparison review or something like that, just like I did with the level 2. That would be kind of cool. But anyways, guys, I hope that this video helped you guys out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
The sandy beaches with springy leeches. I burned the leeches with beaches.